What if I told you that thing you're striving for isn't worth seeking? Whether it's promotion, your own business, six-pack abs, a big house on the hill, or just recognition. You might have your ladder against the wrong wall. It's taken me 40 years to figure that out. In this video, I'm going to save you years of frustration, pain and disappointment, because I'm going to share what's really important and what you really should be seeking. It's the advice I wish I'd had 40 years ago. I'll tell you right up front what it is. I'm not going to make you wait until later in the video before I reveal it. It's freedom. Freedom to do what you want, when you want, with whoever you want. That is the only thing that is worth chasing. All the other things are usually material and they're not worth the chase. Most of them are just results of the chase. They're meaningless. Just imagine not having anybody telling you what to do, not having to live by other people's rules. That is what living life on your own terms is all about. I used to tell myself, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I've lost weight. I'll be happy when I get promoted to manager. And when I became a manager, I'll be happy when I get promoted to director. And when I became a director, I'll be happy when I have my own business. And you know what? I never was. And here's the reason. Because every time I achieved that, I moved the goalposts up and on to the next thing. You could argue that I was moving my ladder onto a new wall, and every time I climbed up the ladder and got to the top, the view was okay, but there always seemed to be a better view, another wall, somewhere else to move my ladder. Here's the truth that I wish I'd learned much earlier. Happiness cannot be linked to the achievement of one thing. It's a state of mind. Happiness is a choice. I spent 20 years of my adult life on that hamster wheel until I was 44 years of age. It took the death of my father when I was only 43 to change my attitude and to make me go off in a completely different direction. And I'll share with you what I've learned over the last 20 years, I'm 64 now, that might help you make the same pivot and get the best out of those years. These new perspectives have enabled me to build a life where I'm truly free and happy. Let's get into the meat of this video and let me share them with you. My dad's death really got me thinking about this, the thing that was really important. So I'll start with this, and that is time. Now that I'm 64, I look back and I ask myself, where the heck has time gone? It only seems like yesterday that I was 24, and this is what I would tell my 24-year-old self if I could. Time is a very precious commodity. Don't waste it. You can't get one single second back. It's not replenishable. Time is a thing that we have absolutely no control over, and yet it's easy to live as if you do. You see, in the blink of an eye, 40 years are going to pass. As I said earlier, I'm 64. I've no doubt that I'm going to blink and I'll be 84. So the thing that's very much on my mind now is, how am I going to make the most out of the next 20 years? They could be the last 20 years that I have on this planet. Here's the thing about time. You have no control over it. It's going to just drift away. But you do have control over how you spend it, how you live your life. You get to choose who you spend that time with. So grasp this simple concept. You are 100% accountable for the choices you make and the outcomes that come off the back of those choices. So with that in mind, choose very carefully what you do and who you spend your time with. If you're spending time with people who don't uplift you, I would say that you should reconsider that. They're not worth the time, because time isn't infinite. It's going to keep passing whether you like it or not until you have none left. And don't peer too far into the future and worry about things that haven't happened yet. You might not realise it, but they are just imaginary problems at this stage. They're in your imagination. They haven't happened. And the chances are they might not happen. So that's my message. Back to my 24-year-old self and to you watching this video, don't waste your time. Next up, let's talk about work. I spent the first 4 or 5 years of my adult life bouncing from job to job until I found something that I stuck at. It's okay to keep trying things. Up until I found that career option, I was searching for something to do. I was searching for a job that I liked. But here's the problem. Once I found that career, the chase started. I got out my ladder and I started putting it up against the wrong walls. I started chasing a lot of things that young adults chase. Money, promotions, responsibility, big cars, better cars, houses. Do you get the picture? They're all relatively material things. They are the things that you haven't learned not to chase because you're living life and you're still young. The thing I chased more than anything else was recognition, and I did that through chasing promotion and status symbols. You know the sort of thing, cars, the ultimate status symbol for a man in his 20s. I chased responsibility. As I got the promotions and I got more responsibility and I got more staff, I wanted more. I wanted more recognition. I wanted my own business. And when I set up my own business, everything was about growth and growing and getting bigger, continuing to hire more sales, more people. But what came with that? Yeah, more responsibility, definitely. More money, yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing that really came with it. More stress and ultimately more dissatisfaction. In my 20s, I always wanted to be rich. I'm not ashamed to say that. I even told my then girlfriend on one of our early dates, I wanted to be rich and one day I was going to have my own business. Now, she obviously thought I was a pretty good prospect because we ended up married and we're still married to this day. This September, we're celebrating 40 years of wedded bliss. What I've come to learn about work, that it really doesn't matter what you do, because at the end of the day, there's a good chance that at some point off in the distant future, you're going to stop doing that thing. So you don't want to be defined by it. Don't let it become you. What matters more than anything else is how you live your life, not what you do. And here's the simple fact about work. All those people that you've encountered in your work over 20 odd years, the chances are, by the time you reach my age, not a single one of them will be in your life anymore, because they're not your friends, they're your work colleagues. They're just people that are passing through. The last thing I want to talk about is purpose, because I think purpose is bandied about a lot and it's a very misunderstood thing. You don't need some grand purpose in life. All you need is something that excites you enough to get out of bed every morning with verve and enthusiasm, looking forward to the day. Because here's the thing, it's only that day that really matters. There are no guarantees there'll even be a tomorrow, but if you start thinking this simple concept that you must live in the moment and enjoy what you're doing now and don't think too much about the future. The thing about purpose is it's not about succeeding or failing. I think what it's really about is having impact on other people. And there are two ways that can go. You can either have a negative impact on people or you can have a positive impact on people. But I've chosen over the last 20 years to have a positive impact on people. And I do that through sharing my knowledge. That is the reason why I have this YouTube channel. Having an impact on people's lives in a positive way is a good purpose. We all have knowledge inside of us that can be shared. You've got knowledge that can be shared to help other people. What you need to do is to dig down and find it and see how it might help others. And once you've found some kind of purpose, you've just got to persist. You've got to stick at it. Remember what I said earlier about the ladder at the wrong wall? It's inevitable. You're going to keep moving your ladder onto the wrong wall, and that's no problem. Just don't let it beat you up. Don't get down about it. Get the ladder off the wall as soon as possible, get it onto another wall and have another go. Sharing your knowledge is a good thing to do to help other people, which seems to be an opportune moment in this video to tell you a little bit about one of the things that I now do. I mentor people who are behind me on the road and would like to learn from my experience. So if you would be interested in me as your mentor, there is a link in the description below where you can apply to have a call with me to tell me all about your challenges and see if I can help using the experience that I've picked up over the last 20 years. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you have to say on the topic, and let me know what your experience is of the things I've talked about in this video. You might also want to watch this video next. I mentioned earlier about my life changing after my father passed away. Well, this video talks about the things that he said to me, his last words that changed my life. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.